Since you and I last chatted, I've lost a good friend. Uh, Hulk Hogan. I've been in this business. I grew up in this business, the wrestling, and it got to be where it's like if you would say just publicly professional wrestling or the WWE, the next thing you would hear is Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
I mean, Hulk Hogan is, in my opinion, the most recognized, you know, performer in our history. And anything about wrestling is kind of like if it was like me, I like baseball, but I'm not a enormous fan. Well, now if somebody says baseball, the first name I'm going to think of is Mickey Mantle.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey Mantle. There's nobody, even if you're not a baseball fan, that doesn't know who Mickey Mantle is.
And Hogan's like that. You're right.
You're right. And in our business, Hulk Hogan is that guy, that name. And so, I hadn't seen him in a long time. And I didn't know, that he had like two back surgeries, I believe it was, and was trying to recover from that. But I just don't understand. I haven't said, it's like, okay, so he had two back surgeries, and he was trying to recover from that. So what weakened his heart to the point that he died?
I don't know. I know that some news is beginning to come out today. Today's 1 week ago that Hulk Hogan had passed away, and I believe that some news had come out today as far as like what the report was following that. I just saw that article as I was sitting down with you, so I haven't had an opportunity to have a look at it. But yeah, apparently, they've gotten to the bottom of it, and I'm sure it'll be all over the place by the time this episode comes out tomorrow as we're recording this. But yeah, I mean, Ted, it's to your point. Hulk Hogan became synonymous with professional wrestling there for so many years. Like whenever you thought wrestling, you thought WWF, and you thought about Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
And I think to a large degree that's still the case. I know that probably some fans think of Stone Cold Steve Austin, but like there's never been a star that quite transcended wrestling the way that Hogan did.
Yeah.
He became more of a pop culture icon than he became a professional wrestler, right?
Yeah, I totally agree.
When you think back across the career of Hulk Hogan, everything he did from Japan, AWA, of course in the WWF, then he went to WCW, back to WWE. He became the world champion again there. TNA, like he did so much. Hall of Fame, all these accolades. What to you, Ted, is the legacy of Hulk Hogan, if you could kind of sum it up?
Well, again, like all of us, I mean, it's kind of like, he became a very big hero to a lot of kids. I run into people. I run into people today in stores and what have you, and they go, "Oh my gosh, are you Ted DiBiase? Are you the $1 Million Man?" Yeah. So, man, I used to watch you when I was a kid. And some of them were really honest. I go, man, I hated your guts. and I go, thank you. And they go, and they go, but of course you understand, it was the character that you were playing. You did it so well. I just hated it. And so, and again, it's like I'm not nearly as big a star as Hulk Hogan was. During his time, he's the guy. He was the man. It's kind of like you go from generation to generation. Like when I first started, in the first run I had through the WWF, Bruno Sammartino was a household name.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bruno was he was a big star, but in his era. But I would again for Hulk Hogan, who was the star during my era. He's the guy. He's the guy. If there's one guy, it's kind of like I said before, if you don't know anything about wrestling and somebody brings up professional wrestling, the one name I think they're all going to remember is Hulk Hogan.
That was very well said. I think that a lot of fans would try to argue that The Rock is a bigger star than Hulk Hogan, and I think there's an argument to be made. He did great in professional wrestling, and now he's become one of the biggest movie stars of all time. However,
Well, that's just it. You know, now Hogan was not a. I mean, he was in a movie or two, but he wasn't a movie star.
right,
He was a wrestling star. Hey, I don't. I've met the Rock. Everybody tells me he's a great guy. And he's another one of those guys. People say he doesn't forget. He takes time with people, and I think that's great. But he is not in the same era. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
He was with the era that came after Hogan. Well, the Hogan and me. Rock he was the guy. And hey, God bless him. I watch all his movies. And I only think I've met him one time.
I think The Rock is phenomenal, and yeah, there's no arguing his star
Yeah.
power. What I would say to those people that say that The Rock is a bigger star than Hulk Hogan, try to remember that The Rock and all the opportunities that he got were a direct result of the success that the WWF had under Hulk Hogan.
That's it.
Yeah, so it's yes, he might be a bigger star. I think more people maybe across the world nowadays know who he is.
Yeah.
However, those opportunities never exist for The Rock without Hulk Hogan. And I think that everybody in professional wrestling, say what you want about Terry Bollea as a man, I think that everybody has their opinions. But when it comes to if you're working in the professional wrestling business, you owe a debt of gratitude to Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's how we're going to wrap this one up, my friend. Man, I really appreciate you taking the time today to discuss Hulk. I know that it's been a tough week on you with him being gone. And brother, it's all we can do is say a prayer for him, say a prayer for his family, and we'll see him down the road.
Amen. That's a good way, Marcus. He was. I know he was married, a couple times. Maybe was it 3 times?
I think.
And I never met his current, I guess, widow. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to meet his kids. He's got a son named Nick, and
Nick and Brooke.
And Brooke. I may have met Brooke when she was little. I can't remember right now, but. Yeah, that's who we need to pray for, is to pray for his family, and you don't ever know. I mean, there's, you hear about discrepancies and, well, they were feuding or whatever. They weren't talking at the time, and I would just say, to all that, it's kind of like, by the grace of God, I was on great terms with every member of my family that has gone before me.
Mm-hmm.
But for those who, weren't on a good standing, with Terry, I just hope that they would see it in their heart to, get on their knees and get right with it, because, nobody's perfect.